Okay, sixth graders, so we're about to read a television script. And before we do that, you need to know how to read a TV script so it doesn't get confusing because it looks different than a novel or an article might. Once you know how to read this TV script, you can really read any script and understand what you're reading. So, the script we're reading today is called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street by Rod Sterling. And this script was actually originally intended for a television episode. So it's going to be short, and you're going to see evidence of what you would see in a TV episode, but in text. The writer of the script includes directions and clues, body language, and dialogue so that the actors, directors, cameramen and women, and producers know exactly what the TV episode should look like in order to bring the most meaning out in the script. First thing you need to know that unlike a novel or a short story, we don't meet characters as we read, but we know exactly who our characters are from the moment we start because we're given them. This is a cast of characters. So, main characters. We've got the narrator, figure 1, and figure 2. The narrator is the person who tells the story. So we can assume that we will see the narrator a lot. And then you have the residents of Maple Street, the characters who the TV episode is about. We've got Steve Brand, Charlie's wife, Mrs. Goodman, Mrs. Brand, Tommy, woman, Don Martin, Sally, Tommy's mother, Man 1, Man 2, Pete Van Horn, Charlie, and Les Goodman. You're probably wondering, why are some of these characters Man 1, Man 2, and woman? Well, if a character does not have a name, we can assume that that character is a minor character or a small character. They have a small part, and they're not as important as the characters with names. All right, so some elements of a script. First, let's take a look at that green bubble up at the top. The first words are always fade in a script. In other words, fade in means the camera is fading in on a certain scene. It's the first thing that you see in a TV episode, and the script will always begin with these words, fade in. That's how you know it's starting. So I want you to close your eyes as I read the fade in and begin to imagine what you would be seeing on your TV screen. All right, ready? Go ahead, close your eyes. Fade in on a shot of the night sky. The various nebulae and planet bodies stand out in sharp, sparkling relief, and the camera begins a slow pan across the heavens. So what did you see? Did you see space? Did you see nighttime and stars up in the sky? If that's what you visualized in your head, you're right, and you interpreted the fade-in correctly. Now, if you look right below that, you see narrator's voice. Anytime a character is talking in a play, it will say their name, so you know exactly who is talking. And then you'll notice, as we jump below that, we see more brackets again. This is called a transition. A transition is film editing directions. These directions, which appear in brackets and are italicized, tell the cameraman and director how to shoot the scene to match the meaning of the dialogue. Excuse me, I coughed. These film editing directions do everything from tell you what you're seeing to how the camera is moving, what the light is like, and what the characters are doing. So that way the actors know how to move, the cameraman and woman knows how to set up their cameras, and the lighting people know exactly the right light to get the right shot. And when you put everything together, you get this.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
when you put everything together, that's what a TV introduction might look like. So let's jump into the actual script. Here are some more key elements that you need to know. Here's the transition popping up again. Let's read an example. There is a pause and the camera moves over to a shot of the good humor man and two small boys who are standing alongside, just buying ice cream. That's easy. So I know that what I should be expecting to see on my TV are kids running over to the ice cream man and buying ice cream. Excuse me, I coughed again. Okay. And then in bold, you see more characters. This time we have somebody more than the narrator. We've got Steve and Don. Next to these characters' names are going to be the dialogue or the words that they're saying to each other. And remember, anything in brackets that italics is a transition, meaning it's telling us what the actors are doing or how they are moving. So look at Don. Don says, "That's what it looked like. I didn't hear any crash though, did you?" And what he's doing at that moment is he's nodding his head. And then Steve down below actually shakes his head in response. "Nope, I didn't hear anything except a roar." A few more to be aware of. You saw in the first slide that we did, and in this slide, something called an act. Plays don't use chapters like novels do, but acts. But they act like chapters, meaning we're jumping to a different part of the play, and we're going to see maybe some different characters, or we're going to see a change in plot. So the plot is moving along from one scene to the next. So what does it look like when you put all of that information together? A TV episode. And after we're done reading it, we're going to watch this very creepy TV episode, and you're going to get to see the words on the page come to life for yourself.